We're going to go ahead and get started with today's class. So go ahead and find a comfortable seated position near the front of your mat. Maybe you take crisscross applesauce. Maybe you stay seated on your shins. That's what I'm going to do today. Take your hands and place them on your upper thighs, palms facing up for a position of receiving. Or if you need a little bit more groundedness today, feel free to place them palms down. You decide what you need in every moment of today's flow. Go ahead and take a couple of just deep cleansing breaths. Get back in touch with your body, with your sense of self. Check in with how you're feeling today. Maybe give that feeling a name. And then check in where that feeling lands in the body. Are you experiencing any tension, any disconnectedness? Do you feel like you're kind of floating around yourself? Do you feel like certain areas of the body are speaking one language and the others are speaking something else? None of it has to make sense. You can think in metaphor, you can think in literal terms. It does not matter. This is just your opportunity to explore what's happening with you. As we breathe, we set the tone for today's practice, grounding ourselves in presence, engaging the front of the mind so that it can be there armored for when we need it, when we encounter stress or difficulty, strong and uncomfortable emotions that try to take us away from who we want to be. So as we take a deep inhale in, seal the lips and bring that breath all the way down into the deep belly. Let the belly rise out. Holding at the top for a couple of seconds, exploring that feeling before you exhale fully out. Let the shoulders drop. Tension drains. Inhale in nice and slow. A little bit longer than before. Bring that breath deeper into the belly. And as you get ready to exhale, let it go equally as slow until you've reached the full basin of that breath where there's nothing left to give. Once again, deep inhale in, expand the diaphragm. Rib cage follows. And exhale. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Soften the muscles of the jaw. The face relaxes. As we breathe, we practice this 3-space breath, the inhale, the hold, and the exhale. This is where we find our focus. The goal of these moments is not to not have thoughts, but to take a third eye view of those thoughts. To allow them to run past the mind without interacting with them, without problem solving, without having a conversation with yourself. So every single time that conversation starts back up, your job is to find stillness once again by bringing your full attention to sensations happening in the body and the rise and fall of your breath. Feel the silence. And your next inhale, go ahead and lift the hands up overhead. Keep the shoulders pressed down as the palms come together, and then draw down to the heart. Bow the chin to the chest. I want you to take a moment before we begin to incorporate more movement into our flow, to invite inspiration into this room, into your body, into your thoughts. What happens when we stop engaging in the conversation with ourselves and we just listen to everything that's already there? Ask for some inspiration. Ask for the thing that you need to hear, to see. As you inhale, go ahead and press those hands together up over your head. And then exhale, roll the wrists down as you open the chest. We're gonna come unroll up over the knees, taking the hands beneath the shoulders, the knees beneath the hips, and start to find a little bit of fluidity through the spine. Maybe you do a couple of spine circles to the right and to the left. Notice any areas that feel tighter. Maybe take a little shift back and forth, looking over the opposite shoulder as you twist. And then find stillness. Lift your heart out towards the front of the mat. Flip the toes down into the mat. Firm up through the belly button to protect the low back. Press the shoulders down away from the ears. And then go ahead and when you're ready, take that right foot and extend it back behind you. Trying to keep it parallel with the floor of the hip. Close down into the mat. So we're not opening up. We're keeping that pinky toe face down to the mat. We breathe here. And we begin to pulse ever so slightly, putting the tension in the glutes. So try to turn off the hamstring as much as you can. And find a little bit of strength and stability through the glute. Find stillness. Go ahead and kick that foot up towards the sky. Again, checking in with your hips to make sure that they're squared down. We're going to take the knee in towards the body and then kick up. And we're going to do that a few more times. Move with your breath. Power through the glute, making sure that you're keeping that hip squared down towards the mat. A little strength today in with our flow. All right, go ahead and find that upward position where the foot is aimed at the ceiling, and then extend the foot back out. If you want to go ahead and extend that left hand out in front of you, deep breath in. And as you exhale, pull elbow into knee, inhale, extend. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. 2 more times to the beat of your own breath. Stay here. Once you're done, extend it out in either direction, and then go ahead and take the hand down, the knee down, and set the glutes back on to the heels. Take a little rest. Inhale in through the nose, and exhale, walk the hands over to the right. Stretch out the side body. And then inhale, walk to center. And exhale, over to the other side. Inhale, walk back to center. Stretch the fingertips as far out in front of you as you can go. And then press into the palms and move the back up 1 vertebrae at a time, back into our all fours position. Spread the fingers wide once again. Press the shoulders down away from the ears. Align the knees beneath the hips, the wrists beneath the shoulders. Press your heart out towards the front of the mat. Flip your toes down. Switching our focus now to our left leg. We're going to go ahead and extend that foot back behind us once again, keeping the hip rotated down. We press through the back of that foot, maybe spread the toes here, and then we begin to pulse through the glute, keeping once again the entire motion strong through the right hip, so we're not buckling into it, and also keeping that hip rotated down. A couple more here. Find stillness. Go ahead and kick that foot up towards the ceiling once again. Check in with your posture. And we're going to exhale the knee, come back in, and then lift. Squeezing through the glute. Keeping the hips rotated down. Only going as high as you can maintain your posture. Last time, extend the leg out one more time. I invite you to, if you can and have the balance, extend the right arm as well. Deep breath in. Exhale, elbow to knee, inhale, lift. 3 more times to the beat of your own breath. Stay extended on this last one. And then go ahead and release the hands. Take the knees wide now. Big toes together. Sitting the heels and the glutes together. Big stretch through the arms. Feel this move into the armpits and chest. Maybe roll your forehead across the mat a couple times. Release any remaining tension residing in the face. And then slowly pressing into the palms, roll up one vertebrae at a time, coming back into your all fours position. Hands underneath of the shoulders, knees beneath the hips. Press the toes into the mat, firm up through the belly button, shine the heart forward, and then pick the knees up off the mat and begin to shift your weight so that your belly is aimed at your upper thighs. Feet should be hip width apart here. You can go ahead and take a little pedal. One heel descends, the opposite knee bends. Creating a little bit more warmth through the back of the legs, warming up the hamstrings. And then find stillness. Little micro bend in the knees. And it's the glutes that try to inch their way up towards the sky. It's not the legs that we're focusing on straightening. Deep breath in through the nose. And as you exhale, go ahead and walk your feet to the front of the mat and find forward fold. Your belly descends onto your upper thighs. Head, neck, and shoulders hang loose. As you inhale, go ahead and lift your heart out in front of you. And as you exhale, release. Inhale, leading with the heart. We're going to circle sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands come to prayer with the heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, cactus the arms as you lift the chest ever so slightly. And inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Water falling over the legs. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, dive down, planting the hands, and step the feet back into plank pose. Release the shins for this first one, as well as the tops of the feet. We're going to tilt the pelvis down so that there's one long line from the top of the head to the base of the knees. Exhale, keeping the arms aligned with the body. Come all the way down onto the belly. Hands stay grounded beneath the shoulders. And as we inhale, we lift through the heart, hovering the hands. And then exhale, mount forward, pressing your weight back, flipping the toes, and then sending the tailbone up in downward facing dog. Adjust as you need to. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale, go ahead and step or hop forward into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, circle sweep, lead with the heart nice and slow. Palms come together at the top. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Good posture, firm through the belly. Exhale, dive down, lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, dive down, plant the hands. Hop or step back to plank. You can do the modifier on the knees if that feels good to you, or join with me in a full vinyasa. Exhaling down through chaturanga, elbows tight to the body, flip onto the tops of the feet, lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, flip the toes and the tailbone back, downward facing dog. One more time, this inhale, bend through the knees, take the gaze forward. Exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, circle sweep, lead with the heart. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, hands lift up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Lift through the heart, little mini back bend. Inhale, lift, and dive down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, dive down, plant the hands, hop or step back to plank. Exhale, down through chaturanga. Flipping onto the tops of the feet, lift the heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, flip the toes and the tailbone back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and lift that right heel up off the ground, keeping the hips squared down into the mat. Point the toe now, open the hip all the way up, and as you exhale, step forward into a low lunge. Take that back foot, spiral it down into the mat, stepping in ever so slightly at a 45-degree angle. And as you inhale, we're going to lift and then sink into that front leg, finding warrior one. Take your time to get the position right. We're sinking down without sinking forward. Inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, flip that foot towards the short edge of your mat. The body will aim at the side of the room fully for warrior two. Gaze comes over the front fingertips. Breathe here. Inhale, we're going to reach forward. And as you exhale, take that back hand behind the body, staying sunken into the front leg as you lift the front fingertips up. Gaze comes up. And then inhale, rise to warrior two. We're going to pivot off that back foot, bringing it forward into a high lunge. And then exhale, dive down into low lunge, step back into plank, and move through one vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel lifts nice and slow. Keep that pinky toe squared down, the heart floating towards the upper thigh, and then point the toe, open the hip, and exhale, step forward into low lunge. Spiral that back foot to a 45-degree angle, and inhale, rise to warrior one. We're sinking down without sinking forward. Hips are squared to the front of the room. Inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, open that foot to the short edge of your mat, intersecting with that heel, arch should. Body rotated towards the side of the room. Gaze is the only thing forward. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, take that back hand behind the back as you lift the front fingertips up. Exhale, warrior two. Pivot the back foot forward, come into a high lunge. And then exhale, dive down, stepping that foot back, move through one vinyasa. Meeting in downward facing dog. Breathe. Slowly we're going to take the shins down into an all fours position and walk the heart up. I'm going to move to face you all here. But we're going to go ahead and face forward. This time taking that right foot out to the side. All we're going to do here is we're going to stretch through the side body a little bit, keeping that shoulder away from the ear. That toe should point forward towards the front of the room. Breathe. And then we're going to spiral down the other way, reaching our fingertips to create one long line from the fingertips to the base of those toes. Spiral up, interlace the fingers, pull down through the chest. And then we're going to go ahead and adjust, taking the hands down, pulling the knee in, and switching sides. Toes point towards the front of the room. We're going to walk the torso up and sliding the left hand down the left leg. We're going to reach towards our side. Notice what feels different from one side to the other. Keep the shoulder away from the ears. And then we're going to go ahead and spiral down to the other side. One long line as we reach those left fingertips towards the side of the room. One long line from the fingertips down to the base of those toes. We spiral up, we take the hands back behind us, lift through the chest, and then begin our bow. Hands come down. I'm going to go ahead and face the side. We're going to rotate so that the legs come out in front of us now. Right out into an L, hands slide back in alignment with the rest of the body as we rotate the shoulders down and back. Imagine a string tied to the tip top of your head, keeping it in place. Lifting through the crown. Core is tight. Upper back is strong. As you inhale, go ahead and use your core to scoop the hands up overhead, elongate your L, and then exhale, descend forward, finding an anchor point for a seated fold. You can grab at the toes, the feet, the ankles, the calves, it doesn't matter. Breathe. Inhale, we walk the hands back, the torso up. And we're going to go ahead and take the left foot and cross it over right above the right knee. We're going to hook the right hand or right elbow on the outside of that knee, sitting up nice and tall and breathing into a twist. Keep your belly moving. Imagine that your spine is a washcloth or a rag being wrung out. It needs to drip off. Slowly rotate forward, put both feet out in front of you for a minute, and then we're going to switch sides. So right foot right above that opposite knee, hook the left elbow, look over the back shoulder. You should feel your belly move. Let it guide you into the twist. Slowly release, taking both feet out in front of you and slowly allowing the back to descend against the mat. This time we're going to go ahead and take that left ankle and stack it right underneath the right knee, creating a figure four. And then pulling those legs up and into the body, we're going to grab right at that right shin. Flex your feet. Press the left knee out and down. Should feel the stretch concentrated on the outside of that left glute, left hip. The more you stay flexed and open while simultaneously pulling those legs into the body, the deeper the stretch becomes. Exhale, release. Pull both knees into the chest for a moment. Give yourself a little hug. Maybe roll out the low back. And then release the feet down once more. This time, stacking the right ankle below the left knee. Flexing that foot, making sure that the knee is moving out and down. And then bring the legs up. Grab through that figure four to hold on to the left shin and begin to stretch on the other side. You should feel this on the outside of the right hip, the right glute. slowly release. Once again, pulling those knees into the chest. Give yourself a nice little roll back and forth. Massage the low back. And we're going to move into one final pose. We're going to take Happy Baby, taking the fingers and grabbing the inside arch of your feet as you kick the feet up towards the sky. Elbows to the inside of the knees. Pulling the legs down while also keeping the feet flexed towards the sky. You can take a little roll here in this position. We're opening through the hips, opening through the inner thighs. Try to rock as you breathe. Nice little lullaby for the body. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and release, taking one knee in and then the other. Extend those legs long to the wide edges of your mat. Take your time. Maybe shake out the legs a little bit here. Release any stored tension or energy that you might be holding from the practice. Allow your arms to rest at your sides. Walk your shoulder blades down. Follow your body's cues and leads. Some of us might need to shake it out a little bit longer. Some of us might have to take another stretch or two. But if you'd like to move into Final Shavasana, whenever you feel led, this is your time. As you breathe, you submit. It's a posture of trust, of rest, of letting go. Remember what you invited in earlier. And once again, ask the information to come to you. We stop the conversation with ourselves in order to allow for whatever arises. Breathe a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale, release. Keep that flowing for the next few minutes. One last deep inhale in through the nose. And whenever you're ready, forcefully exhale out through the mouth. As you bring life back into the body, I invite you to give a little wiggle to your fingers or your toes, to roll around in whatever way feels right or good or true for you. And as you feel ready or led, you can make your way into a seated position. You can begin packing up your stations as we say goodbye. Thank you for joining me for class today. As always, it's my honor to serve as your teacher. And if you have any suggestions, areas you'd like to address, you know where to find me. I release you back into this beautiful spring day with one big, beautiful namaste.